Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with an instant match reaction. Newcastle United 3, Brentford 1. We are through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. Back-to-back wins. It's nice to enjoy this once again, isn't it, as Newcastle fans? Good performance tonight. Pretty dominant by the team. I was never really worried about you guys. I'm sure you'll tell me in the comments soon enough. We are live as always. Jump in the chat. It is just me tonight. Mark is off in his man flu bed, so spare a thought for Mark. Hold a candle up for him while he's recovering from man flu. But I will do my best to get through as many comments as we possibly can. This is the kind of thing you guys like. You're just checking us out for the first time. Good evening, and this will be a joyful one because we've won the game 3-1 very comfortably. But smash that button, subscribe, help get us to the next milestone. We're past 9,000 subs now. We gave away the brilliant blue retro shirt as a prize. I know some of you were disappointed you didn't win it, but there'll be another great prize for 10,000 once you help get us there as well. So we're going to get stuck right into this and talk about the lineup, talk about the team, talk about the performance, and maybe, just maybe, about a special Italian player as well. So we'll get stuck into the lineup in a second, but just before we do, you might have noticed that the lads were wearing this shirt tonight, which I thought was absolutely brilliant. So on the back of our home shirt, we had Sam Fender, people watching. Obviously, that's Sam's album coming up in February. Love Sam Fender. He's absolute fucking genius. North Shields lad, born and bred as well. Brilliant for the region. But what's great about this shirt as well is that it's going to be signed by the players and auctioned off to help raise money for the Newcastle United Foundation as well, which is a great touch by the players and obviously by Sam as well. And get well soon, Sam Fender. He's got a bit of a bad throat, I think. He had to cancel some gigs. So livid for the fans who missed out on him. Top bloke, top performer. Absolute superstar, and I'm sure he'll be back soon enough singing those brilliant tunes of his. So let's get stuck into the lineup. And this is how we lined up tonight. So pretty much unchanged from Leicester City, which didn't surprise me. I know we said in the preview that Eddie might make some changes, maybe bring in Trippier, possibly in Barnes. Didn't happen. He stuck with the same lineup there. Obviously, Thomas Frank made some changes. I mean, they played Sunday as well, so I'm pretty sure that will be his excuse when he talks about how he was comfortably beaten by Newcastle United tonight. Obviously, their star man, Mbeumo, was on the bench, and that was good for us as well because he's a very, very good very, very good player, as was Damsgaard as well, who came on and really changed the game for them. But thankfully, we were well in front by that particular time. It was nice to see Louis Miley back on the bench as well, even though we didn't see him in the game. But yeah, the first half just pretty much picked up where we left off. I think against Leicester City, you know, we were dominant on the ball. We were comfortable. You know, those lovely little intricate passes between Sandro Tonali and Bruno were there. You know, and it just looked really, really good, to be fair. You know, and then on the 9th minute, what an absolute thunder bastard of a goal! Absolutely incredible strike by Sandro Tonali. Comes to the edge of the box and he just hits it so clean. You know, it's almost like I think Mickey Bridges was the commentator, and he said side swaz. I love Mickey Bridges, Whitley Bay represent, but a little side swaz on the ball. He knew exactly what he was doing with Sandro, and he drills it into the bottom corner. It's absolutely fucking class. It really is. And, you know, we're well in control of the game at that particular point. And a great goal by Sandro Tonali. And he just looks better and better game after game. His fitness levels are there. He's understanding the team play, the dynamic. Him and Bruno linking up so well as well. And it's just a joy to watch. It really is. Joelinton was in the wars, smashing into people. Lost his rag a bit as well, where he felt Collins stamped on him. Now, in Collins' defence, I think he throws his arm up going for the header, but that's not what catches Joelinton. He catches him and he lands on him on the floor. I don't think it was intentional. I think he just happened to land on Joelinton. But I think he split his lip, and Joelinton got up and he was absolutely raging. I think he wanted to tear a lump out of Collins, to be fair, which I think was a little bit OTT. It does worry me a little bit about Joelinton when he's like that spark in him where he just loses his fucking mind and he wants to batter somebody just for no apparent reason whatsoever. But then obviously the game is, you know, we're well in control of the game. I don't think that Brentford are really troubling us whatsoever, in all fairness. And Chipper's coming there. Who doesn't love a semi-chipper? But, you know, we're moving on to the game, then we'll get another opportunity as well. Ball comes to the edge of the box. A lovely bit of play, another set piece again, and then Sandro Tonali with a fucking unbelievable second goal as well. And never mind being a number 6, he's popped up with 2 brilliant goals tonight. Side-footed volley into the back net. We're 2-0 up goal in the half-time, and the game is pretty much won, for me. It really is. Joelinton goes off half-time. Joe Willock comes on. He's desperate for a goal. We're all desperate for a goal. We're trying, we're pushing. We're all over them. I thought Lewis Hall was excellent again tonight, on the ball, off the ball. I thought it was absolutely outstanding. He got a few nasty tackles as well on him, Lewis Hall. So they're obviously starting to target him now as a player. But just brilliant. Livramento, was better on the right-hand side, getting into the box as well, making things happen. He was the one who actually set up Tonali's first goal. And then we're pushing hard for it. And Fabian Schar in the 69th minute. Brilliant bit of work by Sandro Tonali, who looked like he was gasping for his hat-trick. And then it falls to Lewis Hall as well. People, and he gets a shot away. Flecken makes a decent save. Falls straight to Bruno. Lovely little touch back. Fabian Schar taps in the back of the net for the third goal. Then Wissa breaks just before full time. Lovely ball by Buemo. Just finds him and he just puts it into the back of the net. Them two are really, really dangerous. And it's a good job that Damsgaard wasn't playing the full game, because he really got on the ball in midfield and found space for them. But we were so dominant in the game. We made a handful of substitutions. Trippier came on. Miggy came on. Barnes came on. Hit the beans on toasted. Barnes. It was a brilliant strike and all. It was a Harvey Barnes type strike, and I thought it was destined for 4-0 at that particular point. Miggy worked hard, Trippier on the ball, but I think a lot of those lads would be away in January. Certainly Trips and Miggy, by looks of it. Asula came on as well. Was buzzing when he heard his Asula chant and the rhyme of tequila with the fans, which I thought was awesome. But again, he showed some nice bits of play, strength. Holding the ball up well. Trying to make things happen raw, but there's definitely something there. I think when you look at that lad, and the more he develops, hopefully the better he'll be. Bit disappointed not to see Louis Miley at any particular point. That's probably the only negative for me. But other than that, absolutely class, to be fair. And I was very, very happy with that performance and through to the semi-finals of the Cup. So we'll get a few comments in there, guys, as well. Yeah, Kevin says Tonali is pure class. He is my man of the match, guys, hands down. He really, really is. Trevor saying Tonali starts, scores 2, dominates the midfield. I'll bet Eddie take the nitroglycerin pills. Calm down. I wish he would have brought off Longstaff if the ball goes Simon. I don't think Eddie's going to drop him for Longstaff in the weekend, mate. I'll be pretty stunned at that, to be honest with you. Adrian says, what a game. Tonali, man of the match. Come on, Cup this season. Well, I think, to be fair, Adrian, I think the Cup is the best opportunity I think we have of getting into European football this season. I do, obviously Arsenal through the semi-finals as well. If we get a decent semi-final, that we can get into the final, or against someone like Arsenal's going to have European football anyway, then we'll get European football by default. I just think we're too inconsistent for the league form to get us to Europe. I mean, if we keep playing like this, we might find myself in the argument, but I'm not confident that we will be able to keep playing like we have against Leicester and against Brentford tonight. I think the inconsistencies will creep back in, injuries maybe as well. So yeah, the Cup is definitely for me the best way for us to get to Europe. MFS from New Zealand, what a happy morning. Fantastic. Good on you, mate. I bet you were up early doors. And Philip says Tonali was immense. I mean, just talk about Tonali a little bit. I haven't got any slides from Mark here, because he is on the deathbed, as we say. But in terms of Sandro Tonali's game tonight, so 56 out of 60 passes, so he's got 93 passing accuracy there, 2 goals. In terms of his tackles, 4 tackles, 1 clearance as well. He won 6 of his 11 ground duels. Just absolute class in every possible way. Great on the ball, great off the ball as well. Strong, doesn't mind a tackle as well, gets stuck right in as well. Some of the Brentford players are trying to put a little bit on the Newcastle players, and he's just absolutely class. He really, really is. I think we're starting to see what the hype is all about, what everyone was all excited about. And long may it continue. Long may it continue. Ben is saying he's just woke up to the good news. Great start to the day. Exactly, Ben. Wherever you are in the world, mate. Absolutely class. Ian isn't happy that Miley didn't come on and he brought Willock on. He was so far off it. Chippers was a better option. But Chippers does love a semi, Ian, so he might have got us in there, mate. But I do admit, I was a bit disappointed that Louis Miley didn't get some game time there. The only thing I can think of is that Eddie doesn't think he's fit enough to play in a game like that. But why have him on the bench if he's not fit enough? That just really gets on my tits. It really, really does. George is saying, I have hope now for the side again. That's what they do, George. They suck you in, mate, and then hopefully they won't disappoint you. Graham is saying, comfortable tonight. Absolutely, Graham, it was. I never felt rattled at all, never felt concerned that Brentford were going to do anything. Damsgaard looked dangerous when he come on. Wissa and Wemo are really good players, but I just don't think supposedly threat tonight. They look beaten, didn't they, Brentford? I feel sorry for the Brentford fans who've travelled up. I hope they're stopping over tonight, get yourself a couple of beers and an early train home in the morning, because that was a hell of a trip to get back to London after watching that shit. But yeah, thank you very much. And hit the like. Yes, guys. You can't stay, Graham, but thank you very much for that. Uncle Buzzcock saying an efficient display tonight. Efficient was right, just determined, focused, efficient, and just got the job done, didn't the Buzzcocks? And a game like that, when we're playing like that, you don't have a worry, you don't have a concern really. And like I said, some of these lads are playing some great football. I mean, Lewis Hall and Gordon, some of that link up play, that little corner that they had as well, the little back heel around the corner, and then Bruno's little back heel to Murphy, where he just misses the bottom corner as well. Some lovely football being played by the lads. It really, really was. I thought Byrne was decent as well tonight. He's got a shit score on Sofa score. I think Schar only outscored him because he got a goal, really. But I thought Byrne was solid tonight. I thought he handled Wissa quite well, but isolated for Wissa. I thought Isak was isolated a lot tonight. They didn't really give him the ball. I felt a bit sorry for him at times as well. I think he was shouting at people to square it or find him with a through ball, and it just wasn't really happening. I think Gordon found him once, and then I think his shot was blocked by the defender and went out of play. But yeah, I think Isak was isolated tonight, but he was there. He was occupying the defenders, but he wasn't really doing what he wants to do. I suppose kind of find those little pockets of space. Squaring defenders up, getting around them and getting them goals. It didn't quite happen for Isak tonight. But listen, Ipswich in the weekend, that could be the game where he comes alive. Ty said he can't stay, just nipped in to say, come on, good on you, Ty. Well done, mate. Well done. Dave said he still thinks Longstaff is a better player than Tonali. I'm sure you do, Dave. Constance Santos saying, Howe must be feeling some mixed emotions. Tonali made him look like a stupid man. Well, he'll probably swing it in some way, won't he, Eddie, and say it was all part of the plan, I'm sure, mate. But yeah, we're definitely seeing a key player now for Newcastle United in Sandro Tonali, and he has to stay in this team. There's no way you can drop this lad after the way he's playing. He's absolute class in the glass. He really is. Marcus is saying definitely new hope. 100%, Marcus, absolutely. Richard T saying Tonali played with confidence. Wow, does it show? I think when a player is so good in a game like that, and Brentford are no mugs, to be fair. I think some of the players that are right. I think Lewis Potter, worked quite hard again. Cavallo tried to get in the ball. Wissa is a decent player. Schar was trying to make something happen, but we just dealt with them well, and that midfield, I mean, with Bruno and Tonali, the way they are, their ability on the ball, their ability to get stuck into a tackle, Bruno's winning free kicks left, right, and centre. Tonali's just keeping it cool, calm, keeping the ball moving. And Joelinton again tried to do what he did against Leicester, but I think he got battered a few times. Obviously, that split lip of his kind of put him off. But that midfield three, when they're on song and they're on form, you can't really ask for probably a better midfield three in our squad really than them three. But I think the link-up play between Tonali and Bruno is just fucking mouth-watering at the minute. It really, really is. But I do wonder who's going to play the weekend with Joelinton being suspended, whether he'll just bring Longstaff in or whether we'll try Joe Willock or even maybe Louis Miley, maybe saving Louis Miley for the weekend. Who knows? But we'll sharp find out. Yes, Haware Crin, thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate the words. Julie J, yeah, good evening to you and good evening to all the chat, says Julie J as well. Martin is saying Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, and Man U versus Spurs. Tough semi-final lineup that. That is a very tough semi-final. But you've got to beat them if you want to win it, Martin, to be fair. I mean, let us know in the comments, guys, who would you fancy out of them? I'm saying Spurs, to be fair, because Spurs can turn up and be dog shit at times. Or Man United. I'd fancy either Spurs or Man United out of those ones, to be fair. I wouldn't fancy Liverpool or Arsenal, in all fairness. Mark Webber saying, outstanding performance. Fuck me, Sandro, you were superb. Anyone in the semi over 2 legs? Yeah, bring it on. Absolutely. Over 2 legs, we've got to try and do it. We got to the final of this competition a couple of years back there, and we should have really won the thing against a really poor Manchester United. The lads have got to learn from that. Dan Byrne talked about that, I think, in the middle of the week, about how much the cup means, and you got to keep doing. You got to do better. And I think this is the best chance of Europe. I think Eddie Howe knows it's the best chance of Europe. So we have to win this cup. Peter saying, tell me, Ma. Absolutely, Peter. We'll be there. Marcus is saying, get well soon to Mark as well. Yes. Spare thought for Mark, guys. Spare thought for Mark. He is. Man flu has struck him down. He needs more Baroccas, I keep telling him. He doesn't have enough vitamins in his life, does Mark? That's what it is. Have more vitamins, Mark. Then we'll get some sponsors for vitamins for the channel. That'll maybe remind him. Paul White saying he thinks Isak was a bit quiet in front of goal, but still had his moments. But Asula is just so raw. He is, but he's strong though, isn't he, Paulie? He does have something there, the way he held the ball up, spun the players, and then he tried to drive the defense. There was some potential there. There was. I mean, I still don't think. I think maybe there was better options available. I think Delap for me was a much better option than went to Ipswich, but listen, he's here as Sula. We'll have to see what happens. Ian says Willock always looks stoned, and that's just his look. That's just his face, mate. That's the way he is. Andy Ford is saying, I was absolutely thrilled. We let one in at the end. I had 3-1 Tonali, first scorer. 580 quid. Winging is the way to be. Merry Christmas. Oh, fucking get in, Andy. Merry Christmas indeed, mate. I hope you put that to good use, Bonnie lad, because it's tough at Christmas for us all. But that 580 notes is going to do you the world of good, Bonnie lad. Dave is saying we need rapid right centre back to partner Botman. Yes, apparently we just stuck a bid in, haven't we, for is it a lad from Real Sociedad? Is it or Rio Valladolid? We'll look at him for the rumour has it soon, I think, as well. 18 or 19. City wanted him, Real Madrid wanted him, so he might be a good option for that, David, to be fair, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. Chip is saying he finds it baffling why Eddie has Tonali back this long, yet kept Longstaff in, week out. Do you know what? It's one of the mysteries of the world, Chippers. Like, who shot JFK? Are we alone in the universe? Who built the pyramids? And why the fuck has Eddie Howe played Longstaff over Tonali for this long? It's right up there, mate. It really, really is. Unsolved mysteries. Sean Clary saying, mate, I've watched the Toon for 50 fucking years. Lewis Hall is the best left back I've seen in the Toon shirt. Do you know, I was saying that the other day, that he could very well be the best that we've had. You know, obviously I grew up watching entertainers. Showing my age there, and Beresford was the boy for me. And brilliant at talking, by the way. What a character, if you've ever seen John Beresford. But Lewis Hall, just honestly, that kid could be anything he wants to be. You know, he's got everything. He's got the composure. He's starting to defend better as well. Now, I like how he stuck one on Buemo as well today. He really stuck one on him and put him on his arse. And I like that because he remembers that goal that he scored against down at Brentford. You know, so he's learning, Lewis Hall, but he's so good on the ball. His ability, you know, his quality. I was screaming for him to get a goal. I wish that one had went in, the share goal. I wish he just bent in the top corner or the bottom corner or something. I think a goal is coming for Lewis Hall very soon. I can feel it. He's getting those goal scoring positions. It reminds me a lot of what Andy Robertson was like when he started at Liverpool, and hopefully he can follow that path because we'll have a hell of a player on our hands. And Jim is saying Hall again. Hall is some player and a fit midfielder. Tonali, Big Joe, and Bruno is as good as anything in the league. I'd agree. I'd absolutely agree. Cindy saying the league is wide open. Botman coming back. Transfer window coming up. Fingers crossed. Good times ahead. I mean, Sven Botman coming back, Sydney. We almost forget about this Rolls Royce pulling back into the drive, don't we? I mean, what a player he is. He played for the under-21s, I think, the other night, and he just looked brilliant again. Louis Miley got 45 minutes for them, you know, and then he was hooked off to obviously being the bench here, but Eddie didn't use him. But you got to think Botman coming back, Miley coming back fit as well, potentially another one or two through the door. You know, maybe, just maybe we can do something. Ian Twin Traders in the house, good to see you, bud. Top performance by the midfield today, 100%. It's the midfield, that midfield, I think it's just said there, Jim said, was as good as anything in the league if they're fit and on form. You know, Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, and Joelinton can hang against any midfield in this league, no doubt about it, when they're on top of their game. You know, they've shown they can do that. You know, in games against Arsenal, you know, bring on City, fucking Man United, a whole lot. These lads could really do a good job against those teams, you know. But again, I think with Joelinton in particular, fitness needs to be key for Joelinton. Keeps getting these little niggly knocks and stuff like that. He's suspended at the weekend, so we won't see Joelinton. But it's a good opportunity for somebody to step in. I'd love him to give Louis Miley a shot in midfield against Ipswich with Tonali and Bruno. I just think the level of quality on the ball would be superb. But you just know he's going to bring in Longstaff, to be fair. Because you're saying, here's a question for you. If the other three semi-finals all qualifying for Europe, will Newcastle get a place? Now, that is very interesting, Cushy, because I'd imagine they would. Yes, I'd imagine so. So you've got, I mean, you look at that there, you've got all of them are probably qualifying for Europe. So that's a really good question, mate. So maybe we're already in Europe, effectively. Who knows? But that is a great question to ask, mate. I wish I could answer it, but we'll maybe do some digging. I'll get Mark to do some digging while he's drinking his Beechams. He's the research man for shit like that. Neil saying, don't start giving it big licks. I'm through and through, but Brentford were absolutely crap. Brentford were tired tonight. There ain't no doubt about that, Neil. You know, I think you can't get around that. They weren't as shit as Leicester at the weekend. You know, that one you definitely had to caveat. But, you know, Brentford tonight looked tired, looked leggy, and we looked up for it, you know, full of confidence from the Leicester game. And when Newcastle come out the traps like that and they get an early goal, they're liable to beat most teams as long as they don't lose their head defensively, which we didn't. Yeah, so, yeah, they weren't great, Brentford, but, you know, let's give the lads some praise. Arthur saying our right wing worries me. I mean, to be fair, Arthur, I see what you're saying. It's worried me for a long time. Murphy did okay tonight. Didn't do great. Again, he had a couple of chances that he probably should put away. I mean, Barnes didn't really affect the game on the right-hand side. Again, he moves to the left. He hits that rasper off the post. You know, he looks a lot more alive. Right wing is definitely a key position for us to sign in the January transfer window. You saw the lad coming off the bench for Brentford, and Mbeumo, to me, that's the guy we should be going after. Premier League experience. He sets a goal when he comes on. Dangerous, lively, can get a goal as well himself. He's the kind of player that we should go for. But also, you've got the likes of Bakayoko over at PSV, which would maybe get cheaper than Mbeumo. So for me, there is definite movement, I think, in that position. That is a key position that's been overlooked for the last 2-3 transfer windows, and it has to be done. I think Miggy will be on his bike, Trips will be on his bike. Talk about Dubravka, even though he started tonight in goal. Dubravka being linked to the Saudi Pro League. So I think there's bodies going out and there's definitely people coming in. So I think the right-sided centre-half and the right winger are coming in this January. I really, really do. Ian is saying Sandro was different class. Him and Bruno getting a real understanding. They are. That 6 and 8, those two are playing, and it just looks absolute classy, and doesn't it, to be fair? I mean, you're talking about two international quality players here, two players that belong at Champions League level. The way they can control the midfield, the way they are with the ball, without the ball. The more they play together, the better that relationship and partnership is going to become. And that's why Eddie has to stick with it. He can't keep chopping and changing, because that's just fucking stupid. Christopher saying, cracking performance from the lads tonight. Tonali in the first team now, surely he has to be, Christopher. You can't take him out. He's that good on the ball and everything. The 2 goals he got tonight showed you a different side of his game as well, that we didn't even remember that he had after the Aston Villa goal that he scored, which was a great finish as well. That's another 2 brilliant finishes tonight. So he's got goals in them as well, Sandro, and that'll just breed more confidence for him to get forward and try and pull the trigger as well. And that's absolutely brilliant to see. Diminishing Return says, I'd love to see Tonali's touch heat map. It must be mad. I'm just trying to look at it there, mate, to be honest with you. He was fucking everywhere. Let me see if I can, just for you, mate, I'll see if I can send that to the channel, as I am just on my own tonight. Let me just have a little look here, and I'll see if I can send it. Now, see, if Mark was in the background, if he wasn't dying of man flu, then Mark would quite easily send that to me in the background as I was chatting to you all. So let me just see if I can do it, and then that way we can keep chatting, and I can keep mumbling like this while I send that through to myself on an email, and then I will share that with you all, ladies and gentlemen. So let me get that in the background just while we are talking, and then I will try to share that bad boy up. So we'll get a look at it. I'll come back to you, Diminishing Return, because that is absolutely a very, very good point. Arthur saying it was very nice to see Miley back in the Master Squad. It was, mate. I'm a huge fan of Louis Miley, and I really hope that Eddie doesn't just let him drift away on the sideline, because for me, I think the kid's got such talent. He really has, and we shouldn't be letting that kid drift away. Or I think he was asked about going out on loan, and to be fair, he said he's too valuable to us, and I think he is too valuable to us. He really, really is. Right, Diminishing Return. There is Sandro Tonali's heat map for you, just as a quick screenshot there. Everywhere, mate, absolutely everywhere, and that is a world-class midfielder right there, bossing a game, as you can see. I mean, he's in every single position going. Left back, right back, number 6, number 8, winger, you name it. What a player, man. What an absolute player that lad is. So, moving down there, Lee saying, what a player Tonali is becoming, world-class performance. Absolutely. And David is saying you can see Miley stepping up if Longstaff leaves. Well, I said that in my video as well. And I think that's another thing that Eddie's saying why he's too valuable to us. Now, I think, to me, that is something that maybe indicates Longstaff may be on the way. There's no contract being signed. And I said that, and I was fair when I said it in the video. Longstaff's had a lot of criticism. He's been a good servant to the club, 200 odd appearances. You can't scoff at that. He's grafted, he's ran his socks off, he's worked hard for the team, but he's a limited player, and he's a player that can do well in certain games, but in a lot of the games you play in the season, he's found wanting with his skill level. Louis Miley has more to his game than that. We've already seen that. I think Sean's got 10 assists in 200 games. Louis Miley's got 4 in 28. Yes, they're slightly different players, but that shows you what Louis Miley can do. And I think you can coach the defensive ability in Louis Miley. He already showed good discipline at 17, 18 in massive games like PSG away in the Champions League. So I think he's well and truly capable of it. Keith Truscott saying, stand up Tonali and be counted phenomenal. Man of the match for me as well. Keith, absolutely brilliant. And Mark says Tonali dealt with his demons in the most public way, and now he's showing his class. He did, to be fair. He's had a very rough start to his time in England and Newcastle, and he's really shown everybody what he's all about, to be fair. Jason Rich is saying good winning performance, but why is Eddie so slow at making subs? He's actually been taken off as soon as the 3rd goal hit in there. Yeah, you're right. Isak was kind of anonymous in the game, Jason, as well, wasn't he? He wasn't getting on the ball. He wasn't doing anything. Just rest him for Ipswich. I thought he made his subs late. And again, I'm just disappointed he didn't take off Bruno or even Sandro and just rest them a little bit for the weekend. Because what if they got a knock or something like that and missed the game at the weekend? We all would have been going nuts about that. Dean saying that his fire stick broke at the end of the first half. Only saw Tonali's first goal. Have a great commentary from Toon Review. Kept me abreast of the match. Great result, and Tonali smashed it. The guys do an unbelievable job on commentary. They're big friends of our channel. They always give us a shout, and I love them for that. Paul and Billy are absolute legends on commentary. So if you haven't watched their commentary, you can go back and watch the commentary of that game. It's almost worth doing it even without the game on, just to see them going mad, I'm sure, because they're absolute legends on that. That's the same. Man U in Europe, not sure. That's a very good point, actually, the way they're playing. Marcus Rashford, there's a question. I was thinking about putting that on social media, but I didn't want the fucking meltdown. Would you take Marcus Rashford at Newcastle? Could Eddie Howe turn him round as a player? That's a very, very good question to ask, to be fair. Very, very good question to ask in terms of what you're doing there in terms of signings and everything else. So, right, let's have a look at some more of the comments there. Yeah, Duncan Buzzcocks is saying that the Carabao Cup winner is already in Europe. I believe it goes to 6th place. The cup runner-up gets now. Oh, that's shit, isn't it? That would have been a nice little sly route into the Europe there, wouldn't it? Jack is saying, even against poor opposition, we've needed a couple of strong wins to get our momentum going. Hopefully, this is a turning point. Hopefully, it is, mate. Absolutely, Jack, because you've got to beat the shit teams. That's where we've been struggling this season, is beating the shit teams. So, now we're beating them. We can't complain. Phil is saying, to me, it shows how poor our keeping standards are for a team competing as a top 6 when Dubs is considered our level or above Pope. We need a top keeper. We do. I saw a story come out, or a link come out, where was it Callagher, the Liverpool goalkeeper, was linked to Leeds, and I thought, what the fuck are you doing, Newcastle? Get all over that, because he's a top goalkeeper, and he's not going to hang around at Liverpool and be third choice keeper behind Alisson and Mamardashvili coming in. So we should be all over that signing and get Callagher in at Newcastle, because I think he'd be a great signing for us. Lee Nolan saying, get in, lads, our right wing is fine. The two, you must have another comment coming after that. I'm not sure I would say it was fine, Lily, I must admit. So she was get in the lads. Our right wing is fine for me as it is. I'm not sure about that, Lily, to be honest with you. I love your confidence in the lads. Murphy's obviously excited you with a couple of nice little cameos there, but I think that right wing position has been a weakness for us for a long time. We're class on the left with Gordon, and even Barnes with cover. He can do what he did tonight. I mean, on another night that goes to the bottom corner, because that's what Barnes is good at. But on that right wing, we've got people who run and run and run, but they don't have a lot of quality. And there's games where we need that quality. And I think if you had someone like an Mbeumo or somebody like that of that ilk on the right-hand side, I think that would definitely make us a much stronger side overall, and make us win those games that we've really struggled to win, moving forward this season. Chipper said Tonali to Man City instead of Bruno. Fucking hell, Chippers. Don't upset us all after that, mate. My word. Dina said Tonali's making himself undroppable. With Bruno in the air, I think Shaw will be struggling to get game time from now on. And that'll be on Sean's mind as well, Dean, to be fair. Sean's a professional footballer. He's at the peak of his career. He's 27 years old, I think he is now. Sean wants to play, and I think when we did the video, somebody said, oh, no one will sign Sean Longstaff. Somebody will sign Sean Longstaff. He's an experienced Premier League player. He's got good work rate. He's good in games, certain games where you need to, be busy and press people and get the ball back and that. Yeah, he can get a goal or two. We've seen that. He's got 16 goals and 200 appearances. So Sean will have interest from other clubs. There's no doubt about that. So he will somebody will go for Sean. And I think the way things are going with the emergence of Louis Miley, I do think it could be time for Sean to go. I really, really do. The Crocodile says Longstaff and Burns to be so along with the others by a centre half and a right wing. Now, the Barnes one's an interesting one, Croc, because I could see Barnes moving on, because Barnes will be pissed off he's not getting the game time. It's one of the weirdest signings I still think I've ever seen. We've got Anthony Gordon playing that left-hand side, playing brilliantly, getting goals, getting in the bloody PFE team of the year or whatever, getting in the England squad, and we go and sign a £38 million left winger who does the same job or plays in the same position that Anthony Gordon plays in. Very strange for me. Very, very strange. I still think we should have signed Maddison from Leicester, that number 10 that can unlock defences, that creative player that can do something out of nothing. I know Maddison sometimes has those kind of criticisms that he goes missing in games, but I think Maddison was the one I'd rather signed from Leicester City. Barnes is a good player, but he just doesn't seem to fit this narrative, to be honest with you. George is saying, I knew it. Heat map looks like the Predator's wank sock. Oh, my days. That's brilliant, George. You've done Martin. You've crippled Martin there. He's on the floor. Daz is saying, yeah, I think so. Marcus, a bit harsh from me. I don't know what I was referring to. Oh, sorry, that was the Isak thing. Sorry, guys. Phil said, shame Isak stayed on long tonight. He was tired as Sula, looking like he's getting sharper. Good movement and a bit unlucky. And he's gone blonde as well, hasn't he? He's been out with the Brazilian lads. they've had a good night. They've ended up with peroxide on their hair, and there we go. So I do worry sometimes when the lads dye their hair blonde. Sometimes they're shite, and I do worry about that. But then they were good tonight, to be fair. And Phil also says Rashford is not going in the right direction. He could be coming in the Deli Alley, 300 grand a week, not a chance. See, this is where Rashford will have to show his willingness, Phil, to make a change. Because if Rashford wants to stay on 300 grand a week, right, which is mega money, yeah, no doubt about it, right? It's not as if he's struggling to pay his mortgage, is it? You know what I mean? Or struggling with his lecky bill. You know, even if he dropped the 150, 200 grand a week, he'd still have more money than most of us have ever seen in a lifetime, more money than he knows how to spend. You know, but then if he took a paid drop to go and start again and play for a progressive team, another team, a team where he can start and get involved and get back to the levels that he was at a few years ago, you know, then that would show you a real test of character about Marcus Rashford. But I can see him going to somewhere like Paris Saint-Germain, looking to replace that kind of Mbappe role, get him over there, you know, pay him 300 grand a week in League One, and you look like a superstar, you know, a bit like Greenwood has looked for Marseille. You know, so I can see that happening to Rashford, but it will be a shame for a player who I think is way more talented than he's showing, you know, and it would be very, very interesting to, you know, to see how he goes. Yeah, Dean says no to Rashford too. He'd be down a big mark in the key side all the time. That's why his career has faltered on the lash too much. I did see that when he went to Ireland or something, didn't he? Which is, yeah, it's not good. That these lads too young, too rich, you know, not enough sense. I mean, Marcus Rashford did that thing a few years ago where, you know, school meals, and he was brilliant for that, you know, and you thought he was a different lad, wasn't he, to the rest of the boys? But I just think they're all young lads with too much money and not enough common sense, sadly, is the thing. George says he's not a has-been, he's a never was. Which is harsh, but probably fair. Chris was saying, did you hear on BBC Radio Newcastle about the man with terminal cancer meeting Eddie Howe before tonight's game? Some things are more important than footy. Like, absolutely. I saw it on socials as well, which was lovely. I think there was another fan actually who said he was terminal as well and he'd love to meet Eddie Howe. And I think, you know, a few, our page and a few other pages tweeted that as well. And you know, tried to get him some happy memories and moments there, you know, because he might not have a lot of moments left, sadly, as well. But it was great by the club and BBC Newcastle to do that for somebody who's in that position. And yeah, it is very nice to see. And it's just a nice reminder as to what, you know, these lads and that club means to everybody, you know. And yeah, it was lovely to see, mate. Absolutely lovely to see. Yeah, no worries diminishing. Yeah, thank you for mentioning it, mate. Thank you for mentioning it. I had to do a quick edit there and get that bad boy up in the background. Arthur says we should take Rashford on loan until the summer transfer window, whilst getting rid of dead weight like Miggy, Wilson, Trippier, loan Barnes instead of getting rid of him. It's an interesting take, that, Arthur. I think I'd be keen on that. If you get Marcus Rashford on loan, see what he was all about. And then if he was a wanker, then off he goes. David said, if you haven't seen, have a dig at the Sam Fenners documentary. I did see the Lindisfarne documentary. He's a great lad and he deserves all the praise he gets. He does. He seems like such a down-to-earth kid as well, doesn't he? There's Sam Fender. But I saw that because that's when he recorded Winter Song, wasn't it? Was it a couple of Christmases ago? A beautiful version of that as well, by the way. But yeah, I think Sam Fender's a supremely talented kid, but somebody who just is really true to his roots. And, you know, he loved Lindisfarne as well. That was a real influence on him, you know. And obviously I lived in North Shields for years. I've moved recently, but not too far away. But yeah, I know all about the Lindisfarne, you know, and the legacy around that area. So it's absolutely class to see young artists like Sam Fender being influenced by them as well. Marcus says we need to keep Barnes. I do like Barnes. I just wish we could find a place for him in the team, Marcus. You know, he doesn't want to be an impact sub. That's what he's going to end up being. Uncle Buzzcocks is saying, if I had my choice, a pacey right centre back is what I want, then a right winger. Ideally, both though. I mean, I think we'll have to sign both of them this January window. I just think we'll have to, because if we want to push up the league and get back to where we want to be, then I just think we'll have to sign players like that. We have to sign those two key players that we've been missing for so long, because it's you know, even Stevie Wonder can see what we're missing as a squad. David says he fucking loves Tonali's hair too. I fucking love his hair as well, David. I'd love to have it, mate. Sadly, I'm going the other way, mate. Mother Nature's my hairdresser, mate. Bloody Nora. We've got Rich in the comments there. I think there's an Evertonian. Good to see you, Rich. He said, even just got the news I've been waiting for. I'm eligible for a season ticket for next season. Our beautiful stadium takeover will be announced tomorrow. Well, good for you, Rich. You're one of the good Everton fans, so I won't give you any stick. Some of your fellow Evertonians are not as nice, mate, but you are nice in the chat. I've seen you before, so good for you, pal. Good for you, mate, and good luck with that new stadium. I hope you stay up, but you know it's going to be tough for you, mate. It's going to be tough for you. Robert says Rashford is toxic. He's exactly the profile of player. 27 will start losing pace in a few seasons. That's a good shout. That is a good shout. And thank you very much, Rich, for the congratulations. But as I say, you are one of the good ones, pal. You're one of the good ones. It's safe in our chat as long as you play nice, to be fair. Another comment from Phil saying Barnes is the kind of player we need in our squad. He seems like a luxury player because we are stretched for a great player in other areas. But in teams of us being a club fighting for the top, keep him. I mean, the thing about Barnes is there's not many lads in that team is capable of just doing something out of nothing, scoring your raker and winning the game 2-1 in off the bar. Barnes is massively capable of that. Like tonight in that game there, yes, we were well on top and winning. If that had been a tight 0-0 and he gets that little swivel, that little movement, and bang, it's in the bottom corner, Barnes wins you the game. So I do agree with that one, Phil. I think he is a really talented footballer, but I just don't know how we use him in the team from the start. Anyway, I mean, I had an idea a while ago about trying to convert him into like an 8, like an attacking midfielder playing just behind the front man, possibly. Like almost like a Lampard, Gerrard type style, but he doesn't get stuck in enough. He's attacking, but Lampard didn't either. To be fair, I think if Harvey Barnes had moved inside as an attacking midfielder rather than staying out wide, he possibly would be a bigger club than us even right now, to be fair, because I don't think there's any midfielders out there that can get goals like he does out of the blue like that and from a centre midfield area, like a Gerrard or a Lampard or something like that. How much would you pay for one of those two these days? And Barnes could do that, but he's never going to get in this midfield ahead of Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes. No chance, unless you drop Joelinton and change the shape of the midfield, which you're just not going to do, to be fair. And because she says lots of teams will want Longstaff. Yeah, I agree, mate. A lot of teams would want Sean Longstaff. I could see teams like Everton, West Ham, Leicester, teams like those kind of ilks. I mean, just need runners and grafters and people who want to fight for the ball. I could see that. I really could. I think Premier League clubs would come in for Sean. I don't believe people saying he's a championship player. He's not a championship player. But I just think, I think he would definitely curry some interest. I think he might be on his bike in January. Bruno's Magic Hat says Trips look sharp when he come on. I thought he did, but he also looks like a man who doesn't want to be here. Magic Hat, I think, and I do think he's going to go. I think he'll end up maybe on the continent for a couple of years or something like that, and then he'll retire and become a coach. Trippier definitely looks like a coach to me. He sounds like it. He acts like it. The way he's carried himself, and no matter what the hell's going on off the pitch, and I don't want to get into that, if or when Kieran Trippier leaves this football club, if it's January or if it's beyond, I think we'll all say what a player he's been for Newcastle, and we'll all have lasting memories of what he's done for this football club. And I think he will be a manager, and he will be a very decent manager as well going forward. But I think getting his wage off the bill may help give Isaac the pay increase that he needs, and maybe help bring in some of the players as well and balance the books for the PSR. Daniel saying, sorry, joining late, but got emotional for Tonali. That's nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with getting emotional for that lovely, beautiful Italian bastard. I mean, just sensational tonight. He really, really was absolutely class. A couple more comments there. Scrolling down. Andrew saying another excellent performance and victory Chris made. Absolutely, it was. We need to keep this up though, mate. That was the worry, wasn't it? That we'd batter Leicester at the weekend and then we'd turn up tonight and we're just shit again. But we weren't at all. We were absolutely brilliant. And we were just from the start really to a man. I just thought we wanted the ball more than Brentford did. I think they looked tired, they looked shattered. Absolutely fine. So I'm just laughing at this comment. David, you don't have to worry about your language on this channel, mate. If you heard me half the time, don't you worry about it, Bonnie lad. No need to apologise whatsoever in our chat. I think Marcus said that as well. Never need to apologise for your opinion on this channel. Never at all. And as long as we keep it above the belt, guys, we're all good in the hood. So here we go. Sean is saying, seriously, mate, not sure what you want to do with this. If it's a hobby or a pastime, if not, you need to understand your potential. As I said, give me an email. Thank you very much, Sean. Really appreciate that, mate. Yeah, we're cracking on with it at the minute. Yeah, and it's been an enjoyable ride so far. But I will have a look out for your email, mate. And thank you very much for the compliments there, man. It's very, very nice to say. We really, really well appreciate it. Chippers is saying, is it me or was Tino off tonight? I thought Tino was better tonight, Chippers, to be fair. He bombed forward a lot more. That's been my criticism of Tino, is that he's not got forward like Lewis Hall has. But I think he has done a lot better tonight. He's got forward. He's obviously created Tonali's goal. He's looked a bit more dangerous. I still think his touch is a bit questionable at times, but yeah, he looked a little bit better tonight. He might just be tired, Chippers, to be fair. That could very well be the case. Robert said, who would you rather get? I think Spurs or Man United, I think, for me, Robert. Yeah, definitely, mate. I think, there is a couple of tricky ones there. And at Liverpool and Arsenal, we don't want to get known all that we probably will get them, to be fair, which is not good at all. Arthur saying there's Willie Gnonto and Newcastle could get for a lesser price compared to Mbeumo and Semenyo at the top of the players, versatile left wing or right wing. Absolutely, yeah, 100%, 100%. I just don't want to keep signing Bournemouth players. I know that's a bit harsh to Semenyo because he looks a talent, but I just don't want to keep signing Bournemouth players. Sorry, Bournemouth. I love Bournemouth, massive respect to them, but I want better. I want a player that catches your eye. I want a wow player. And Mbeumo to me is that player. I think he's someone who, no disrespect to Brentford, is probably destined for better things than Brentford. And if it's out in a black and white shirt, I think you'll be an absolute fan favourite and get goals galore. George is saying big shout out for the amazing Lewis Hall video today. Well, he's off sick, but that is all Mark's work, George. As you know, Mark is the man when it comes to messing around with all the old gadgets and gizmos and stuff. He did a great job on that one. He had a right fight with this wonderful platform we are on and their copyright laws. But he did a good job at it. Did a very, very good job at it. Guys are saying trips to Southampton's player manager. I'll tell you what, stranger things have happened, mate. But I think they're closing in on somebody, I think, aren't they, to be fair? So they'll have a new manager probably very, very soon, I'd imagine. But that's a tough gig, that Southampton job. It really is. It doesn't help when you come up, you don't really sign anybody and you try and play exactly the same way. It's just not going to really do you any favours. I mean, Vincent Kompany did it. Didn't change his tack. He ended up with a fucking Bayern Munich job. Sadly for Russell Martin, he's lost his job. I think he is going home to Lucy Pinder, as I saw on social media the other day. So don't feel too sorry for him. He's obviously having a decent life, in all fairness. Daniel Graham is saying Gordon was amazing and I probably should have scored or at least got an assist. His tracking back, even running half the pitch to win the ball back was at some point was exceptional. Gordon just looks fitter, hungrier, and ready for it, doesn't he? A lot more like the Gordon that we all know and love. That press that he put on tonight was incredible. There was that one where I think he pressed and he got pulled back, didn't he, as well, and got somebody booked. He pressed the centre half, so you got to make mistakes. Him and Lewis Hall, swarming around like flies on shit. They've got a great understanding going there. And Hall looks a lot more fitter as well and hungrier with the press. That's what we need. We're a pressing team. We have to, intensity is our identity. That's where our biggest success comes from. Press people, get the ball back, and then just put our game on them, and we'll beat a lot of teams in this league. We should really be one of the top 6 teams in this league with the way that we play and the players that we have. We've lost our way a bit this season. I think the manager has been a bit stubborn with his tactics and his formations, and he's maybe not made decisions quick enough in games that we could have got points in that we didn't. But hey, listen, if the manager's willing to learn lessons and get the team back to a good level, like we've seen the last couple of games, then the manager will get another chance. He really, really will. With a lot of fans that he's maybe lost that chance with previously, fans will forgive you if you get wins and you win a cup. And Christ, if anyhow wins a cup, everyone will forgive him for his indiscretions. Even Trevor, if you're in the comments still, Trevor. David saying he loves this channel. Thank you very much, David. I love that comment as well, Bonnie. That's really nice of you to say as well. We've not been doing this a great deal of time, so we love doing it, myself and Mark, and we'll continue to do it as long as you guys enjoy it, as long as we enjoy it as well. Roger's in the house. He just got back. Great to see you, Roger. Raking performance. Damn shame we stood off a little bit in the end, and BDB got. I don't know what that means there, Roger. Maybe just you're still enthused by that win, but to be fair, it could have been about 5 or 6 tonight, and I don't think Brentford could have complained, to be fair. By the time they got back into the game, we were well ahead, and it probably should have been 5. Thomas Frank will know it should have been 5 there as well. Chris was saying Tonali's second goal was so silky. The way he cushioned it, the net was class. I don't think he scored 2 goals since like ages ago for Milan, I think it was. I would love him to have got a hat-trick. Trippers is saying Joelinton pulled his front teeth out, didn't he? Fucking hell, did he? I did see him pissing around on the sideline, Chippers. I know his nails, but fucking hell, that's unbelievable. Pulled his own teeth out. Christ. There'll be people out there trying to do that, save money on the dentist, mate. Unstable relationship. Buzzing on this win. Total boss show. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate that. And it was class. I don't know if you mean the game or me, but I'll take that as well, mate. I'm going to take a bit of that and give it to the team as well. But yeah, absolutely class. Veneers says, guys, it takes some time to pull them off, mate. Fucking hell. And Roger said his lack of speed on the turn, Chris, he got. Yeah, to be fair, Burn, though, he didn't look too troubled tonight. I like Wisa as a player. I mean, I'd take Wisa and Mbeumo off them lot. I really would. I think they'd be great players for us. Wisa and Mbeumo can play either wing, or they can even play up front as well. Yes, David, Lucy Pinder. That's what I heard, mate. I saw it on social media. Fair play to him. I mean, he does look like a bit like a Towie looking motherfucker, doesn't he? Like that ex-Southampton manager. He does. He's got the beard and the fucking slick hair and all that. He looks like he could be in Towie, to be fair. Dean says J7 pulled his tooth out. Wow, saw it before his fire stick packed in. You'll get me banned, you Dean, throwing this comment in there. Someone will flick me off here, to be fair. But yeah, brilliant performance by the guys tonight. I've done nearly an hour there, I think, guys. So I think that's pretty much me wrapped up. But yeah, thank you so much to all you wonderful people in the chat. We really, really appreciate that. It really helps, the flow of the post-match. We love hearing your excitement straight after the game. People who've been the game and just got back in, like Roger, love to hear it. If this is the kind of thing you guys like, you just check us out for the first time, smash subscribe, help the channel grow. 10K is going to be our next milestone. We'll be looking to hit that, hopefully, at some point next year, I think probably. But it's been an awesome year for Evermore. We've got a couple of more shows coming before we see the year out. But thank you, everybody, for joining the chat. What a brilliant performance and win by the lads tonight. Bring on the semi-finals. Let's hope for a decent tie so we can get through. But have a belter, everyone. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're doing. However, lads, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.